Live from Detroit, it's Coffee and Chocolate.
Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Coffee and Chocolate Games, and there we are. We are back to Vampire the Masquerade. It's Coffee and Chocolate after hours, you might say. Now I know it's been it's kind of a tough day out there on the battlefields. I understand there's a bit of an air campaign that the United States just launched against the Islamic Republic of Iran earlier today. But I say it's time to put all that off to the side. Let's not concern ourselves about conflicts going on in far-off countries. Instead, let's just chill, put on Vampire the Masquerade, and, get ready for some serious stuff here. So let's see if our woman can, let's see if she can find her sire and save the day for the vampires of New York. And here we are. Very sensual, very deep, I'm going to increase the compression and give it a little more fat bass on the EQ kind of night here. The serpent. You knew I was a serpent when you let me in, right? Yeah. New York, connecting the dots. Reynard's exploits have me even more on edge than the carnage that happened at the island. I need to figure out my next move. Alright. Going to the Bronx. Let's do it. Even I heard some of the crazy legends that popped up around the ministry over the years. I don't give a shit if they can actually control the elements, but the second we bailed from that shithole on North Brother Island, a ruthless wind kicked up, shoving us right back to our boat. It was like Mother Nature screaming at us to get the hell out, to run, to ditch this cursed dump before it sucked us dry. So yeah, we totally bailed. We zoomed across the East River and only chilled when that wicked wind finally took a break from breathing down our necks. That's when it dives into the icy Hudson, stirring up wild waves. As we are talking on this pier, the thunderous crash of the water drowns out our voices, all fierce and intense, like it's slurping up our words and stashing them away. Let's recapitulate. First, Jessica Wainwright says Reynard Castle is now number 1 on the circulatory system's hit list. Patrick isn't the type to make big gestures when he talks. He usually just spins his ring or shoves his hands deep in his pockets. But this time he's putting on a bit of a show, ticking off imaginary bullet points on his fingers. Yeah. And I'm probably going down with him if I don't stop digging. Not like I've got much of a choice. Correct. And second, Ellie Sanseric swears he hadn't talked to Reynard Cassell in months. And the items? Usually it's juicy tidbits I find online, but yeah, let's go with items. Right. The items he arranged for Sanseric through Castle haven't shown up yet. Castle has also developed a rather intense, almost obsessive interest in the antediluvians, but his reasons and objectives are still a mystery. I just quietly nod along. Reynard Cassell has been MIA for the past few nights, despite having meetings lined up. He goes quiet for a bit, spinning his ring like he's trying to tether his thoughts to something solid. In all honesty, none of this sounds promising, not for finding him, and definitely not for his safety. He stops talking and just stares off into space, fiddling with his ring. What else is new? But there's another piece of intel we've dug up.
And there's that Zimsey from the Hudson. Retria, was it? Since Eric mentioned she's after Reynard. Don't know much about her. Just that she got some kind of show on the Hudson. We should look into her.
That ring of his is spinning faster now, and I somehow sense that Patrick's about to piss me off. Another load of his bullshit. It hits me all of a sudden. He does that a lot, doesn't he? Spins that ring and then spouts nonsense or flips his stance.
I'm not convinced that's the smartest approach. What solid proof do we have that the ties are to castle, aside from the rumblings of a disgruntled serpent?
There we go. None.
But then again, we don't have much of anything solid, so we might as well chase up what leads we do have, right? That
makes sense. He keeps spinning that ring, his expression smoothing out like he's trying to straighten out his thoughts.
However, I think it might be better to focus our investigation on the circulatory system.
Is this just him being pragmatic? Anxious? Or maybe did he spin the ring and let fate decide?
Honestly, that feels way riskier than just chatting with one kindred. I can't believe I'm the one who wants to play it safe. There's no way he lets sheer chance guide his actions, right? Not Mr. Cool and Collected. It's got to be something about Vitria herself. Is she really that intimidating? Are you scared of her? Well, since Eric did imply that she single-handedly ousted his entire group out of Harlem. To be fair, he only suggested that she just does whatever she wants, and he's not a fan because she totally stepped on his toes. He turns away and spins his ring faster as yet another realization dawns on me. From what little I know, it's out of character for Patrick to be scared of someone he hasn't met. Hold on, do you know her, like personally? I don't... Well, I've heard of her. Spin. Word travels fast, and she's been the talk of the town for quite some time now. She's quite an enigma. Spin, spin. No one knows where she came from or why she chose New York, only that she invades territories and stands her ground. Spin, spin, spin. And that unknown element is precisely what makes her a threat. Spin, 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 spin. I'm so tempted to rip that fucking ring off his finger and smash it to pieces. I shut my eyes and grip my teeth, trying to concentrate. I get why you're freaking out. You're being cautious, but I'm not really in a position to tiptoe around a potential lead. Maybe all the scary stories are just gossip, but she's actually quite reasonable. Perhaps. But this is fact, not gossip. Many kindred who sought her out have ne'er returned. But that's also true for the Camarilla and Anarch turfs. We've taken risks and gotten useful intel there. I don't get why you're all weird about looking into Vritra, especially since you've never even met her. Or so you claim. He stops spinning his ring and grips it tightly, his knuckles turning a shade paler. The main difference between her and the Camarilla is that with the Ivory Tower you can occasionally talk your way out of the deal. Negotiate. Like you did a couple of nights ago. With Vritra, the story has just one ending. You disappear. His explanation almost makes sense, but he won't even look at me as he speaks, just gazes off into nothing, fingers constantly dancing on his stupid ring. And while I get that everyone has their quirks, I'm not demented enough to think I don't have any. It's really starting to get on my fucking nerves. You know what? As much as it kills me to say it, you're right. This Vritra chick is just way too dicey to waltz up to. Let's stick to something more solid for now. Yes, exactly. He sounds so relieved it almost makes me feel bad for what I'm about to do. Almost. But then he starts spinning that goddamn ring again. It's just that, this is killing me. I need to do something with my hands before I literally explode. A look of concern. Literally explode. Does that have something to do with your clan? Nah, No, it's just how I'm wired. Got a coin or something I can toss? Maybe a pebble? A button?
He gives me a puzzled look, but dutifully digs into his pocket and hands me a coin. A quid, if I'm not mistaken.
Thanks. Oh shit, looks like the serpents are having second thoughts.
As he turns to look, I swiftly snag both the coin and his cherished ring from his hand. Before he can turn back, I slip the ring on my finger and step back. Never mind, probably just my mind playing tricks. Hey, what's up with your ring? The ring is actually pretty intricate. Kind of beautiful. It's a dice spinner that mimics a D20 die. I give it a flick. It lands on a 1. I choose not to take that as an omen.
My ring? What?
I lift my hand and give my fingers a little wave, flashing the double band. If he were mortal, Patrick would be the portrait of distress right now, with his pupils shrinking to dots. He reaches out with a trembling hand.
Give it back.
Why the fuss? It's a cool piece and all, but seriously, what's the big deal?
You don't understand. I need it. Really. Please.
I stand my ground with my arms crossed, watching him falter. His body tenses as if to jump and then relaxes abruptly. His hands clench and unclench, and it's clear he's struggling to keep himself composed. Almost on the verge of kneeling. I know he's been putting on a show these past few nights. He is a pro, and I get that. Game recognizes game. Right now, he looks so downright pathetic that I really have to remind myself that we're both just playing out our parts here.
Callie, I'm serious. Please. It could turn really ugly really fast. Give it back. Give it back. Just give it back!
He seems so... Am I the bad guy? This can't go on. I need to find out.
I will tell you. I will. If you tell me what the fucking problem is. Look at this from my angle, will you? I feel like I'm about to lose my head, and you're acting like it's fine to gamble with my existence. You get how messed up that sounds, right? It's not what you think. Just... please. Hand it over. And then what? You'll just skirt around the issue. That's all you ever fucking do.
He stays quiet, teeth clenched, shivering on the ground as if he's going through withdrawal. Who knows? Maybe he is. You really don't think much of me, do you? Haven't I shown you I'm reliable enough? Come on, Patrick. Quit the game. Just this once and trust me. What's going on with you? I might be able to help, you know. I pry his hand away from the decaying plank that he's nearly crushed, slip the ring onto his finger and step back, just in case he decides to take a well-deserved swing at me. The reaction is instantaneous. I watch in silence as he curls in on himself, cradling his hand to his chest, his head bowed, shoulders heaving with sharp, mortal breaths. It takes a while for him to find his words. I wrestle with my impatience. Just stay cool. Wait. And right when I'm about to blurt out something stupid, he speaks.
I do not leave important decisions to a die roll. Absolutely not. You're right. It would be monumentally foolish.
He lifts his gaze from the ring and looks at me with a piercing clarity. I plop down next to him, nodding at him to go on.
The ring? I consider it my lifeline. It keeps me from drowning in the relentless flood of voices inside my head. It doesn't shut them up entirely, but it dampens them, makes them manageable, subdued. Wait a minute. Is that why you're so obsessed about inner voices and that duskborn, Sana? Aye. I'm searching for a more lasting solution, or for some clarity at least. Clarity on what? On what these voices really represent. You don't know? I know. I've known these voices as long as I can remember. I understand why they grew stronger after me embrace, but I also know they're not what others experience. Patrick, I'm so lost. What others are you talking about?
He falls silent for a hot minute, the ring on his finger twitching. It's a truly irritating sight. I should probably look away before I'm tempted to yank it off again.
I am Malkavian, Callie. The whole Kative Act is a facade.
Malkavian. Derided as lunatics by other vampires, the blood of the Malkavians lets them perceive and foretell truths hidden from others. Like the wise madmen of poetry, their fractured perspective stems from seeing too much of the world at once, from understanding too deeply, and feeling emotions that are just too strong to bear. Monikers: the Clan of the Moon, lunatics, madmen, jesters, oracles, dervishes, visionaries, children of Malkav.
Okay. And?
His gaze, filled with suspicion, narrows on me.
You don't seem terribly shocked.
I mean, what are we, if not the secrets we keep? Callie isn't really my name, you know?
Huh, what is it then?
Slow down, Turbo. We're still unpacking your little masquerade here. What's up with that?
Why, the pretense, you mean?
Yeah, I get the gist, but I want to know the deets.
The deeds. Out of that. Malkavians aren't exactly crowd favorites, you see. Particularly those among us with an uncanny insight into the future and no talent for concealing it.
Wait. Hold up. Are you telling me you can see the future?
No, nothing so extravagant. I get feelings, hunches, occasional whispers, offering me a glimpse of what might be.
Well, that sounds pretty nifty to me.
Believe me, it's anything but. It's impossible to tell if these whispers are a boon or a bane.
Wait, so your own voices are screwing with you?
Aye.
That's messed up. No response.
So these whispers, did they tip you off when you saved those anarchs 2 years back?
He seems surprised that I remember his little confession.
In a way. I was lucky to guess right. And lucky that Tur cut me some slack for my erratic gift.
I nod, silently, piecing together our conversation in my head. Everything clicks into place except for one nagging question. But if you understand these voices and their origins, why bother dissecting them?
I hear many voices, each of them distinct, but also the same. It's difficult to explain, but among them is one that's elusive. It doesn't come from any known place, and it can't be quietened. Not even by my ring. I need to uncover its source and its purpose.
So it's nastier than the others.
Not exactly, just enigmatic, and there's only one.
He pauses, his fingers inching toward that cursed ring. Then he clearly abandons what he was going to say.
Nobody seems to know a damn thing about it.
I squint at him, suspicion tightening my features.
You're holding out on me again. Of course I am. But I'm being open about it. It's impossible to share everything about oneself.
I find that
fascinating, don't you? No matter how transparent you try to be, there's always aspects of your life you keep to yourself, intentionally or no. The nuances of our situations.
Oh, what a load of crap. I mentally check out for a bit, then I cut off his rambling. Okay, cool it, Gandalf. Keep your secrets. Just remember, I'm not letting fate roll the die for me. We already have one reckless idiot on the team, and that's not me. I'm sorry, that is me. I'm not letting fate roll the die for me. We already have one reckless idiot in this team, and that's me. He seems stunned, but in the end he tosses me a small but genuine smile.
I thank you, truly. Had I known you'd been so understanding, I might have told you sooner. I apologize for misjudging you, Callie.
Apology accepted. Thank you for telling me, even if it was under duress.
Right, yes. So, shall we go back to the important stuff?
Let's do just that. An awkward silence falls, but the air feels lighter already. A layer of tension slides off me, and from Patrick's relieved expression, he's right there with me. So, Raynard, why is the circulatory system so obsessed with getting him out of the picture? I mean, there's the whole blood trade thing, sure, but why the sudden urgency? I'm guessing it's because they know something we don't. Well, that's a reasonable hypothesis, right? Every now and then I hit the nail on the head. Now, if the Camarilla hadn't swiped my laptop, I might have done some deep digging online with all my tech, but honestly, it probably wouldn't have made a difference. A behemoth like the circulatory system probably uses a sealed-off net for all their dirty laundry. If only I could hack into their database, but it's all coulda, woulda, shoulda at this point. Hold that thought. Getting into the database might be within our grasp. I squint at him. He's full of surprises tonight. Have you ever come across someone named Kaiser? I have, actually. The info broker. Raynard warned me to steer clear of him. Aye, he's risky, but the rewards may be substantial. Kaiser's quite the figure here in New York. Veritable eminence grise, whose influence extends everywhere like a spider web. There's little he doesn't know, even with the recent altercation with Le Sombre Primogen. Le Sombre. Creatures subtly at odds with mundane reality. Le Sombre vampires are expected to triumph at any cost. Ruthlessness is a sought-after trait in progeny, making their reputation as betraying interlopers well-deserved. Most do not seek attention, preferring to act as puppeteers, powers behind the proverbial throne. To a shadow, the ends justify any means. Is he our only option? It's as safe as anything is here, I presume. But if we want to operate under the Camarilla's radar, Kaiser's our kindred. Yeah, but hooking up with someone like that? I mean, I'm not planning to stick around New York much longer. Piling up debts while hunting for my sire sounds like a nightmare. That's fair. Well, then, we don't have any other... Hold up. What about that Malkavian savant? Word on the street is she's pretty slick with intel. You know her, right? From clan to clan? Ah, you mean Hope? The CEO of Double Spiral. Right, her. She's famous for her tech chops. Heard some chatter about her in LA, too. Hey, well, she might not be the best fit for the job. Cracking open the database is one thing. Getting her hands on it's another. But she's been a thorn in Kaiser's side lately. Steadily gained ground in his areas of influence. Maybe she picks up some tricks she hasn't unleashed yet. It's your call, Callie. This is your sire, after all. Honestly, none of these options are exactly stellar. But beggars can't be choosers, can they? So this is a question to ponder here. Kaiser or Hope? I would say this. It sounds like Callie is her own tech person, so I don't know that we need another tech person in the situation here. It's been a thorn in Kaiser's side. Information broker. You know what? We're gonna go to Kaiser. Go to the man. Don't go to the go-between. Hate to say it, but I think our best bet is the city's top info broker, risky as he seems. Alright. I'll set up a meeting for tomorrow night, just after sunset. Meet me at my haven as soon as possible. You'll find another place to crash tonight, I take it. He's learning. Neat. Yeah, but I'll be there. Pinky promise. He flashes me a knowing grin and nods. Then we go our separate ways, melting into the vanishing night. Kind of ironic, isn't it? The deeper I sink into this mess, the lighter I feel. New York, Night 3. Wherever you go, main quest. Okay. That's this. Feeding opportunity detour. What is my blood consumption situation here? Doomsayer. Elise and Sarah, Jessica Wainwright, Matto Blomquist, Mia Sorrento, no relation. Skylar. Vritra. Vritra does not look nice. Escape presence. Okay, I don't know what my current blood situation is. But let's do the side mission. Let's see what happens.
Shadows tighten with each echoing step.
Hunts Point Landing, feeding opportunity. Night 3. It hits me that something's off when I notice this fumbling idiot who crashed into some trash cans a few blocks back, still following me. Could be a coincidence in a city as big and chaotic as New York, but hell no. I've zigzagged across streets and flipped sides more times than I can count during this short walk. There's no denying it, no matter how much I want to stick to my original route. This creep is definitely on my tail. Considering the crap I've seen, it's not far-fetched to think it could be a hunter. But damn, I've been way off more times than I'd like to admit. I mean, it might just be a thief. This is New York, after all. It might just be a mugger or some such, right? Pick up the pace, gauge his intentions. So I play detective, using windshields of the nearby cars to sneak peeks at him. I pause by a yarn shop and pretend I'm into knitting while giving him the side eye as he strolls past, only to see him halt a few yards ahead with this painfully transparent, "Oh, would you look at that?" act. Maybe it's wishful thinking, but the longer the charade lasts, the more I'm convinced he's just some gross drunkard with a skewed sense of right and wrong. Hardly a threat. Still, he just won't let go. Since he's so damn eager for a one-on-one, how about we make it happen? He's gonna be disappointed when he finds out that his easy target is more like a nightmare with teeth. I dart into a dark, secluded alleyway, intending to jump the guy after a few steps. Give him a taste of the intimacy he's definitely not looking for. Maybe with a little kiss to drive the point home. But surprise, surprise, turns out the alleyway is not so secluded after all. There's this guy leaning against a filthy brick wall, eyes locked on the main street and by extension on me. Unlike the fumbling idiot, he's got that distinct blank gaze. A look I've already learned to hate and clock at first sight. A hunter. Shit, am I losing my edge? When it rains, it just monsoons. After all the hunter-related crap of the last few nights, the idea of even brushing past this one makes me want to hurl. So I do a quick about turn and almost walk straight into my stalker, who seems to have found a new sidekick, and they both have the same bone-chilling stare. Looks like they're planning to do something way nastier than I thought. I've kept my supernatural stuff under wraps recently, haven't I? I'm pretty sure I haven't pulled any stunts out in the open, but the second all three of them reach under their jackets and whip out wooden stakes and a very nasty-looking flare gun, the details of my fuck-ups become irrelevant. Fuck my own life. Oh well. No way but the hard way. Oof. Meet my best friend Woody. Okay. Well, nobody move. Cloak of shadows, out of sight, out of mind. See, the problem is I only have one level and these. Let's try it. I smile at them. lifting my hands in mock surrender as I suppress my growing panic. They just glare back, silent and tense, ready to pounce, but my little act makes them pause, if only for a second. That's my cue. I burst into inhuman speed, dive under an incoming stake, and dash toward the far end of the alley. The crack of the flare gun suddenly echoes behind me. It misses, and the sharp scent of phosphorus fills the air, but I'm not sticking around to give him a second chance. The moment I round the corner, I stop and press myself flush against the wall. In the blink, I'm suddenly there, but not quite. Fully corporeal, but somehow forgettable. Inconsequential. Invisible. The hunters zoom past me, hurling curses into the night, but I ignore them. I'm the one with stillness. I am the one with the background. I am the one with the grime of this dirt-ass city. It takes a few good minutes before I dare to move and look for signs of pursuit. Coast's clear. I peel away from the wall, letting go of my forgettable shroud before sprinting off the other way as fast as my legs will take me. It seems I managed to get away by the skin of my teeth. In peak Ravnos style. Still, all that running around ate up way too much time. Guess I'm skipping that detour tonight. Darn. That wasn't cool. That wasn't cool at all. Alright, let's quickly do the math. Deadly sunlight plus my clan's particularities equals a new spot to keep me from getting dusted. I just hope it's better than the last one. But honestly, with the chaos that keeps unfolding, any hideout will do. Temporary haven, wherever you go, night 3. The apartment I scored thanks to the signs of our crew. Wonder who left it there. Raynard? Jess? Is thankfully much better than the dump I had to crash in back in the Bronx. It's clean, spacious, and sunproof, so at least I won't fry to a crisp. Not exactly my cozy RV, but hey, in a couple of nights I could get used to it. If it weren't for the damn near certainty that I'll turn into a pile of ash come sunset, that is. Lying in this queen-size bed, hands laced behind my head, waiting for sleep to hit. My mind can't help but spiral around the shitstorm of the past few nights. Turns out there's more I don't know about Raynard than I do about Patrick. That I've been freaking Raynard's child for almost 2 years. My embrace, yeah, that's not a trip down memory lane I enjoy. Not because it felt like getting ripped apart, because it caught me off guard. I wasn't one of those poor sods whose entire existence revolved around becoming kindred, who slaved away as ghouls for decades, if not centuries, just for a chance at that one final kiss. To be honest, I had no desires or purpose back then, just drifting through life, much like these nights, following impulses. Hit up that city, no, scratch that, head to the other one. Swipe from that dude here, scam that lady over there. Put on a show, disappear. Live. I caught Raynard's eye at a music festival. I was really raking it in with sleights of hand, hustling the clueless out of their money. Rich kids were everywhere, dripping with cash and confidence, making my job a damn breeze. In just one day, I made enough to cover my tickets 3 times over. It lasted until Raynard came along and decided to take me down a notch, exposing all my tricks, swindling me of my hard-earned money, humiliating me in front of my cash cows, and then had the nerve to promise me some bright, shiny future with his gang. I told him to go to hell, obviously. I'd had it with assholes and had zero interest in joining a gang. Cruising alone across the country suited me just fine, or so I thought. Been years since I convinced myself that solitude meant freedom. But soon enough, whether I liked it or not, I learned a whole new meaning of freedom. One that went way beyond just being lonely, because that very same night Raynard spotted me in the crowd and decided to embrace me right under everyone's noses. No one even batted a freaking eye as he hauled my dying ass out of that festival. Man, I'm in a rotten mood lately, ain't I? Gotta remind myself it's not all that bad. These last 2 years with Raynard's coterie were better than a big chunk of my life. Turns out, being part of a tight-knit group, a found family he calls it, can be pretty damn sweet. Not so much when the leader turns out to be a lying, dodging snake, though. That's a recent bombshell with that merchandise not reaching the buyer. The sudden antediluvian obsession, and being at the top of the circulatory system hit list. God damn it, Raynard Cassell. What the hell did you get yourself into? Meanwhile, slow night, Voss. The sheriff. He clearly detests it when I call him that, but I keep tossing it his way every now and then. Who knows? Maybe it'll rekindle some of the old buddy vibe we lost along the way. Not that I'm dying for it, it's just... he turns into a total snorefest once he flips on that professional switch. Handling the Callahan case the way I did, I knew it wouldn't exactly endear me to him. Turns out it might have cut him deeper than I ever thought it would. How many this time? Another 2. A Duskborn and one of Isling's fledglings. The way they were found, their last moments were far from pleasant, to say the least. This is absurd. We've sequestered here like a bunch of idiots struggling to find common ground, pretending we have this mess handled. We can't let this continue, you know that. We have to crush this mob, snap their pitchforks, and smother their torches before everything spirals out of control. You're the sheriff. In my book, that's your shot to call. You've got plenty of backup there. Honestly, I don't know what's holding you back. That's the fundamental difference between us. Unlike you, I still have a modicum of respect for the rules, even when they bind my hands to the choices of fools. Language? Oh, there's that fiery glare again. I need to work on my timing. And he needs to sort out his anger issues. Do you mind if I intrude on this delightful conversation? Oh, Jesus, I hate when she pulls that Cheshire Cat shit, popping out of thin air like that. What is it, Valerie? We might have identified the mastermind behind your locust swarm, as you so aptly put it. A mere glimpse at the file she hands Kadir has me reeling. Him? Seriously? Positive. But then piecing things together, it makes perfect sense. The locusts would only rally under a supremely charismatic asshole. And there's no asshole quite as magnetic as Aaron Fletcher. End of the night. Yes, we will end the night. Night 4. December 2024. 4 nights till New Year. The concept of sleep completely changes when you become one of us. You don't really get gently lulled by the warmth of Morpheus's embrace. More like tossed into the dark, depthless waters where the cold suffocates you till you can't feel anything. Waking up doesn't exactly leave you rested, but it's not quite exhaustion either. It's more like a narrow escape from some fathomless and terrible threat. Which doesn't at all explain why I feel so fucking exhausted as I make my way to Patrick's, tuning out the lively chaos of New York Street on a chilly December night. Even the city's festive lights scattered among their gray urban landscape can't lift my spirits, and neither can the delicate glimmer of the snow. Do vampires ever suffer from seasonal depression? Because it sure as hell feels like I'm scraping bottom of the barrel here. Patrick manages to blend in seamlessly with the scenery, yet I spot him from a block away near his haven. Uncharacteristically, both his hands are buried in his pockets instead of fumbling with that lifeline ring of his. His head is bowed, eyes aimlessly fixed on the pavement as usual. Let's get down to business. So now that we're all here, why don't you spill about Kaiser? What's his deal? At first, he looks up at me with a touch of surprise, but quickly composes himself.
Diving right in, aren't we?
No point beating around the bush.
Well, to be perfectly frank, I expect hostility.
I roll my eyes. Fantastic. Another enemy is just what I need here.
It was not quite like that. To put it plainly, Kaiser's presence is nothing short of repulsive. I've yet to encounter another kindred who's as inherently distasteful. However, I must implore you to bite your tongue. If we want answers, we must suffer the insufferable, I'm afraid.
Well, I can't make any promises. I mean, I'll give it a shot, but we both know how likely that's to turn out. Maybe best if you do all the talking.
Observing would be my preference, but I think we can manage.
There's a brief pregnant pause, and then I succumb to the urge to disrupt it.
What do you think Kaiser will want from us?
Before I can form my worries into words, a monstrous, opulent limousine screeches to a halt beside us, its tires right up against the curb. Patrick braces himself and gives me a resolute nod just as the limousine door bursts open and a lanky guy steps out. He looks kind of sickly and definitely dodgy. My hand automatically moves to discreetly shield my belt bag from him.
Come on in, the boss is waiting.
Threat increase, okay. I thought I was ready for anything after Patrick's warnings and all the nasty rumors about Kaiser, but man, was I totally off. The Nosferatu info broker's face is even more hideous than I could have imagined. And the limo? Far from the swanky vibe I expected. Instead, we're in a high-tech paradise. Top-tier peripherals, touchpads, laptops, phones, tablets, the works. It feels so much like my own geeky heaven that I have to sit on my hands to stop myself from touching everything. I am so caught up in all the cool gadgetry that I forget about Kaiser's fabled mean streak. So when his grating, nasally voice cuts through the engine's hum, I nearly jump out of my skin.
Listen up, you fuckwits. Time is money and you're clearly broke as shit. Spill it now or piss off out of my ride.
Oh, hell no. Who the fuck do you think you are, asshole? How about I piss all over your ride, huh? I might have lost my cool a bit there. I don't even need to look at Patrick to know he's seething with frustration. But I'm not backing down that easily. Kaiser just scoffs and glares at me, giving me the silent treatment for what feels like forever.
Look at that. This one's got some bite in her fangs. Reminds me of someone I really don't fucking like.
His hand moves toward his leg, and he clenches it so tightly his knuckles dance under his awful skin. Interesting.
Alright, cut the crap. Conroy tells me you're itching to dig into the circulatory system database because that fucker Cassell screwed the pooch big time.
I raise an eyebrow at Patrick. I hadn't really thought about what setting up a meeting entailed, but I definitely didn't expect Kaiser to score all of this free intel. Patrick's frown suggests Kaiser might have snagged some secrets on the sly. That fucker Cassell, huh? You have a history with Reynard. Kaiser flashes me a grin with those shark-like teeth, and I can't tell if he's amused or threatening, so I just put on my best tough girl face.
I have a beef with him, that's what I have. The cocksucker can't keep his nose out of where it doesn't belong.
Well, that does sound like Reynard, so I just shrug and nod. Thankfully, Patrick suddenly remembers he's supposed to do the talking.
So judging by all this hardline posture, and I assume you have some plan up your sleeve, Kaiser.
Watch your fucking mouth, Conroy. You're in my space now. I'm dying to throw back some snark, but I choke the urge. Patrick's stern glare definitely plays a part in that.
Here's the deal. I've set up a meeting at the main office of the circulatory system, posing as high-rolling Ventru autarkies, looking to dump some cash into their pit. Now, name? What?
What exactly do we call this autarkis? Kindred who remain unbound to political sex. Okay, sure.
Didn't I just tell you to shut your trap? The faster I'm done, the faster you fuckers stop stinking up my car. Well, maybe if you spill all the beans now, I won't need to drill you with more questions later, yeah? Carrie has a point, Kaiser. We need to be thorough about every last detail if we're going to pull this off. The name is Mr. Tiburon, you twats. Satisfied?
That's more like it. Go on.
Unbelievable. Now the Autarchus, Mr. Tiburon. He ain't about to mingle with the lowlifes himself, so he's sending his goons. That's you, morons. To handle the big fucking deal on his behalf. Those blue blood assholes are so hungry for buck, they'll jump at any fucking chance they get. That's your ticket into their fortress.
Out of nowhere, he whips out 2 ID cards and flicks them at us. There's a note slapped onto mine with a sticky mess of glue, sporting a Staten Island address in a hand so sloppy it's practically criminal.
This here's your fucking golden key into that dump. Lose it, you fucked. Capiche?
Capiche.
What you do next is on you. You'll find the database in their labs.
The ID cards are not the same. Any CCTV. Wait, the cards are different?
Obviously, you dimwit. Yours gets you into the lab for the data. Conroy's gonna do the talking while you sneak off.
Why not the other way around?
Because this gangly fuckstick over here is a natural-born thespian, aren't you, Conroy?
Well, that I can't argue with. But Padrick, on the other hand, doesn't seem too thrilled, and grimaces again.
He is a total disaster with anything tech. There I am. But thank you for the cards.
Just then, the limo swerves dramatically to the right and screeches to a halt on the sidewalk, the sound of honking cars filling the air.
Deal sealed. Now get the hell out. I got real business to handle.
In the ensuing chaos, we scramble out of the limo into the harsh glare of the streetlights, the urgent tone of Kaiser's farewell echoing behind us.
I'll be at the spot in the note. Don't screw this up. Or else.
Padrick and I stand motionless, caught in a kind of limbo, watching as Kaiser's limo dodges through traffic, disappears around a corner, and slips out of sight. Well, that could have gone worse, right?
We extracted more from that meeting than mere invectives. I would say it went quite well.
So this batshit crazy plan, we're actually going to break into the circulatory system and jack their data. I mean, it's right up my alley, but...
Yeah, plan's utterly mad. Yet it seems we have no other option.
Padrick appears eerily composed, as if the idea of being caught red-handed at the circulatory system hasn't crossed his mind. But the wheels are turning. He's probably stressed to the point of zen. I chew on my lip and think. I can go it alone. Look, you really don't need to get mixed up in this. I can just slip in solo and...
No. And you'd know my every move. It's not like Council's gonna rip you a new one for it. Council has nothing to do with it. It's too risky.
I quickly look away so that he doesn't see my flustered smile.
Look, I might not be the sharpest tool in the shed when it comes to tech, but I can create a diversion, help you get in and out safely.
Yeah, well, I won't argue with that. It's just... You already take a lot for the team.
Worry not. I'm in this willingly.
I grin and nod.
All right, let's hit it.
My mood shifts dramatically as soon as we buckle up in Padrick's car and take off forward. Our goal. I almost feel numb, the way my brain buzzes with uncoordinated thoughts like a giant incomprehensible beehive. Out of the corner of my eye, I catch Padrick throwing concerned glances my way before he decides to break the silence.
Is everything okay?
Yeah. It's just that I might not know Reynard as well as I thought I did. Circulatory systems, antediluvians, some enigmatic powerful backer. I'm not even sure who he is anymore, and it's not like I can just ask him right now. Padrick absorbs my words, mulling over the thought in a heavy silence.
I get it. It's really unsettling to realize you don't truly know someone you thought you were close to. Guess the ticking clock isn't making things any easier, eh?
It fucking doesn't, but cheers for the reminder.
My apologies. Was not trying to add to your stress. Yeah, I get it. But hey,
I playfully smack his shoulder, forcing a smile through the strain. At least you won't stuck with me much longer, right? His attention snaps from the road to me, his look one of unexpected irritation.
you know I take no joy at the thought of hauling you before the Primogen Council should we fail to capture Castle.
I turn my head away and look out the window. Well, I do now. All right. I think that is a good place to call it for the day. Thank you for joining me. It has been a real pleasure to play this game, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. If you did, please give us a like and subscribe, and we'll catch you all on the flip side.